Welcome to the Humboldt Network of Family Resource Centers Technology Workshop Series. This workshop is intended for network managers and coordinators as it involves how to add and manage users in our Google Apps system. First and foremost, if you are a new manager or do not have access credentials to our admin system, get in contact with the network administrator and they will give you access rights. Then use this tutorial. If you already believe that you have access rights, then we'll continue. You'll go into your web browser and you will type in admin.google.com. Then you'll type in your login credentials through the network. Mine are outreach@hnfrc.org. I'll input my password. And then at admin.google.com, I'll be logged into my admin panel. From here, you'll see that I have one tab, Users. I'll go ahead and click on that. Then I'll be loaded into the sub-organization that I belong to. In this case, 101 HNFRC Volunteers. You see that on the left-hand side tab. Going into the center section, you can see the various users who are inside of my sub-organization. I have myself, Outreach, several volunteers, and another test. What I can do first is I can add a user. On the bottom right-hand side, you'll see a plus sign. When I scroll over, it becomes a cutout silhouette of a person, and it says Add User. I'll click on that. I'll create the user's credentials. I'll add in their name. I'll add in their primary email address that I want them to have. I can go ahead and automatically set a temporary password, or I can set my own. I'm going to leave it to be an automated one. If I'd like to at this point, I can go ahead and create the user, or I can input additional information like a secondary email address, phone, address, and other user information. I don't have to do this, but I can elect to. Once I'm ready, I'll select Create. Now I have a user, and I have a password that that user can log in with for the first time. I can click Show Password so I can see what their password will be when they first log in. At their first login, they will be required to change this password. Now, in order to notify this user that they have a new account waiting for them, I can choose to send them an email. I'll select that user. In this case, I'll send it to admin@hnfrc.org. Normally, you'll send this to a user's personal email. And then I can fill out the subject and the body of the message as I'd like. By default, the body of the message contains the user's new username, their first-time password, and a link for them to log into their account. I also recommend you including links for them to access Google Drive files that they would like to have that you need shared with them. You can go to your Google Drive file, right-click it, and select Share, and then get a link for collaboration. And at least the user can either access the file or request access from you at that point in time. When you're ready, you'll send off the email. You can first elect to copy yourself on it or not, as you like. That's the basis of setting up a user. Now you can see Jane Doe has been added into my organization's accounts. From there, I can decide if I'd like to manage the user. If I go to the right-hand side, I have 3 vertical dots. I can click on those dots, and I have a set of options for each user. I can reset their password, I can rename the user, I can suspend the user, or I can email them. To begin, if a user gets locked out of their account, it can be useful to reset their password. Also, if you've had a staff change, rather than creating a new account and trying to delete an old one, you can rename the user to a new name. So for example, Jane Doe gets replaced with John Smith. When I rename the user to John Smith, the original email address, janedoe@hnfrc.org, becomes an alias. That way, any emails sent to that email address there and going forward, and any files previously shared will retain themselves. While the new email address for John Smith, or johnsmith@hnfrc.org, will still work. So both will work. That's a great opportunity that you can use so that you don't lose files or access when you change personnel. Now, you're not able to delete a user, but you can suspend a user, which will disable them from accessing their account. If you'd like to have a user fully deleted, contact a network administrator and they can process that for you. Last of all, emailing user is very straightforward. It's just a link through to your inbox so that you can email that user. That's the basis for adding users and managing them in the HNFRC system. If you have any questions, contact the network administrator at admin@hnfrc.org, or go to the Humboldt Network of Family Resource Center's YouTube channel and look for more tutorials. Thank you.